Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Welcome to Tide Talk Sports, back with another video, and this time we are switching it up. We've done this video before, and it's done really well on this channel, so I thought, why not bring it to the NCAA and the Arkansas Razorbacks? Listen, this was supposed to be a year where Arkansas was putting all the puzzle pieces together, and they were going to be able to hopefully make a run at a national championship. That was the last thing that happened this season. Going 16-17 and missing out on the first dance. First time that's ever happened in the Eric Musselman era over up in Fayetteville. And there is a lot of work to do. 5 players have hit the portal for the Arkansas Razorbacks, and a lot of players are now out of eligibility. So there's a lot of roster spots that need to be filled up. And it's time for Eric Musselman and his squad to get to work. They've already done that, getting the first commit of Josh Cohen, which was a really big get, averaging around 16 points and 8 rebounds, somewhere within that range. He's going to be a really vital role for what he contributes to the Razorbacks, but there is still plenty of work to get done, and now it's time to go over the 4 players who I think Arkansas should go after in the transfer portal. Let's get to it. Number 1, we got Furman star, 6'1", 185 pounds, J.P. Pegues. His stats are on the screen now. 18.4 points per game, 4.3 rebounds per game, and 4.8 assists per game on shooting splits of 42% from the floor, 36.2% from beyond the arc, and 87.5% from the free throw line. He will also have 1 year remaining as he is about to be a senior. Do you want some points? Well, then you need to put the ball in J.P. Pegues' hands, and he's going to make sure that you leave with a 2 or 3 on the board, and he has a very versatile display of scoring. 73% of his shot attempts combined come from around the rim or from beyond the arc. This guy can score. He's a really, really good scorer, but not only is he going to put points on the board, he is going to dish it to hungry mouths who need to be fed. Last year, Arkansas really struggled with having a point guard who could consistently make plays for other teammates who were open off the ball, so they really struggled in the pick and roll as well. And Pegues is going to do a really great job at providing play-making presence, as he had a 26.2% assist rate last year, which is good for 147th in the nation. Now, there are a lot of players. 147th sounds like pretty low. But for him to get an assist, a quarter of the time he passes the ball, that is really, really good. Arkansas fans were able to kind of get their first little taste at him this season when Furman came to Bud Walton. He had a pretty inefficient game as he went 4 of 14 from the floor, but, he still turned some heads. 21 points, 6 assists, and a perfect 10 of 10 from the charity stripe. And most importantly, everyone knows that the Furman guard is known for having ice in his veins. Hit a game winner this year, but everyone knows how last year in the round of 64 against Virginia, he hit the unbelievable shot that was able to upset the Virginia Cavaliers, where it looked like Stan Van Gundy had just lost a mortgage on the Cavaliers. So that's my first player, J.P. Pegues. On to number 2. At number 2, we're going with some size and some athleticism in William Kyle III from South Dakota State. 6'9", 230 pounds. This dude stands tall. He stands muscular. His stats, he had 13.1 points per game on the season, 6.6 rebounds, and 63.2% from the field. Kyle will have 2 years remaining. We're in a game where you live and you die by the 3. William is going to play a more traditional big man's game. Some back to the basket, some bully ball, some standing on the right block, some standing on the left block, post up, hook shots, post shots. That's what William Kyle brings to a team. He shot 0 3-pointers last season. He's, like I said, very physical, back to the basket big. Sorry, that's a tongue twister. Plays bully ball. 86% of his field goal attempts came from at the rim, and he converted on 67% of those. Really efficient numbers there from the sophomore, and he played very exceptional defense and displayed very good defensive instincts as well. He always found himself in the right positions for blocks, which he averaged 1.6 point blocks per game on the season. So really stellar numbers from the interior, and a very impressive 7.5% block rate. 6'9" stud had a stretch from January 6th to February 22nd where he scored in double figures for 13 straight games. I think the high of that stretch was also 26. I can't confirm that, but I know 7 of those games he scored 15 or more. Sometimes Arkansas kind of struggled with having bigs who could score the rock, and that's what William Kyle brings. Defense, scoring, on the interior. This is a true interior presence. Arkansas hasn't had that in quite some time. And with Mekhi Mitchell also graduating, Arkansas is going to need to fill that hole that is going to be left when Mekhi leaves. One of the most notable stats on the season for Kyle is that he had 88 dunks on the season. 88. That is a lot. I think it's second in the nation. Arkansas had 77. This team desperately needs someone who can be a force to be reckoned with underneath the basket, and Kyle can be the perfect guy to fill that position. So number 2, William Kyle from South Dakota State. Coming up at number 3, standing at 6'7", 230 pounds from the George Mason Patriots, Keyshawn Hall. Had a pretty great year for the Patriots, averaging 16.6 points per game and 8.1 rebounds per game on splits of 47.4% from the field, 37.8% from downtown, and 84.4% from the free throw line. He will have 2 years remaining. And listen, this guy reminds me a lot of Justin Smith for Hawk fans who are watching. A very lengthy, big guard who can play inside the interior. You know, Justin Smith was known for having, really good athleticism, really good interior presence as a guard-forward combo. And that's what Keyshawn Hall is. He plays that exact same role. His size and length allow for him to play in the paint with smaller guards. And once he gets that matchup, he smells barbecue chicken in his nose, baby. He's a very crafty finisher through traffic, too. With his length, it allows for him to have great shots, adjust, very great adjustments, and that's something that's very crucial. Someone who can convert through traffic, because Caleb Battle is a very, very, very good scorer and does that pretty consistently, but having someone else who can do this, maybe if it's a 2-on-1 fast break or a 2-on-3, having two guys who are very capable of finishing through traffic or bigger defenders, one of the most underrated aspects of someone on a team. And he's also known, he's not really a shot creator. He is going to let it fly from 3, as I mentioned, almost 38% from behind the line, but this guy is going to be a spot-up shooter. Someone who can maybe sit in the corner, sit on the wing. Maybe they're running a pick and roll. Maybe there's a double team. This is someone, you can kick it out to, and he's going to let it fly, and he's probably going to hit it. He's very reliable at that. And I mentioned his craftiness when he creates looks around the basket. I mean, he puts that on full display whenever he goes out and gets in transition. Really great transition guard. Obviously, with the 6'7" and the long wingspan, it allows for him to maybe take more advantage or have an advantage in a one-on-one set. And one of the biggest flaws last year of Arkansas was that too many guys needed the ball in their hands to score or to be efficient. Hall isn't that. As I mentioned earlier, really great off-ball scorer and can, create shots around the rim. But like I said, a guy who you can kick it out to. Caleb Battle, L. Ellis, Devo Davis. These were guys who really needed the ball in their hands to create points. This is a guy that you can get points when he doesn't have the ball in his hands. And that's something that's desperately needed alongside spacing that provides as well. He can sit out in the corner. And obviously in today's game, everyone wants to sit out in the corner and shoot threes. But this is a reliable guy. Say Caleb Battle brings it up on the left wing, takes the defender, kick it out to Keyshawn Hall, who's going to knock down a 3. That's something that Arkansas really needs. And I think he would be a perfect pair alongside Caleb Battle, Trevon Brazile, and obviously now Josh Cohen, who, starting to kind of form some pieces together. And notably, he did just have a Zoom meeting, or he's about to have a Zoom meeting, one of the two, with the Razorbacks. So hopefully that goes well, and maybe they can strike gold while the iron's hot. At number 4, we got a guy with some brain power. From Harvard at 6'10", 255 pounds, Justice Ajogbor. His stats on last season were 8.4 points per game and 6.5 rebounds per game on splits of 54.9% from the field and a very, scary 47.8% from the free throw line. That's not good. He will have 1 year remaining. But the biggest note on this guy, big body. Very big body. If he wasn't a basketball player, he would be a tight end or an offensive lineman because this dude is big. He's an absolute monster at the paint, and with his build, it allows for him to dominate. And I mean dominate in the post. He knows how to use his body, though. Someone who really has taken form of that is, no bias, Victor Wembanyama. He knows how to use his body. This is a guy who knows how to use his body. He plays very physical, and he's an athlete, too. Very explosive, very quick, very shifty, good footwork, light on his feet. Something really underrated about his game, especially for the size he is. You don't have a lot of people who are light on their feet and quick and explosive at 6'10", 255 pounds. But that's what Ajogbor is. He's an excellent counter, thrives very well in the pick and roll, and what he does is he just creates shots. He splits defenders. He hides under the rim. It's going to be amazing to watch him, play with a guy like Caleb Battle, like the guys they have coming in from freshmen. It could be really fun watching that because when they play a lot of pick and roll, run a lot of screens as they did last year, this is a guy who's very physical and will pound his way through traffic and he'll split defenders, as I said, to find himself more open than a 7'11". Normally, people of this size on the defensive end benefit. Obviously, you're 6'10", but normally sometimes they benefit just because of his height alone. But as I mentioned, this guy is an athlete and he displays immense verticality on both ends of the floor. And most importantly, this dude is a defensive nightmare, a domino, a brick wall. His size and his athleticism led him to having the second block percentage in the nation at 13.6. 13.6% of the time this guy went up and sent something to the other end of the floor, and he averaged 2.9 blocks per game. Easy math, 3. And that was something Arkansas struggled with. A big, athletic big who could block shots. While Trayvon Brazile was very lengthy, he struggled to compete on the interior with guys who were much bigger, much bulkier, more physical. And with a Jogbour's size and strength, Brazile wouldn't be asked to do that anymore. He could, guard maybe a 4 or a 5. That's maybe playing in the corner or playing on the wing. And on offense, too, he can play at the wing. He can shoot threes. He can shoot mid-ranges. Because when he played interior, he struggled to compete with bigger guys. And bringing in someone like a Jogbour, that takes away that role from him and lets a Jogbour do the dirty work all down low. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If there's any other portal prospects that you guys like, comment them. Let me know. Let me know what you guys think that Arkansas should do in this portal season. If you did enjoy, go ahead and please drop that like button for me and subscribe if you're new. We're trying to grow a lot more right here on now. The new monetization rule is only 500 subscribers. So if we can hit that, we're going to start grinding here on Tide Talk Sports. Lots of new videos coming out. The Spurs off season is coming up shortly. So there's going to be so much fun rumors to digest with that. And with this portal season, there's going to be a lot of stuff coming up for both football and basketball. So a lot of news, a lot of info, and that's why you need to hit the post notification bell so you know that whenever something big happens, your boy Tide Talk Sports is on it. So once again, thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, post notifications, and until next time, this is Tide Talk Sports signing off. I'll see you guys.